morning, everyone. It's so nice to see such a large crowd for being the first meeting after this terrible pandemic has ebbed quite a bit. We were very low on the cases, thank heavens. I'm Lori Vinicore, by the way, and I'm actually president of the Alliance of Delray, starting last week. Bob Schulbaum right here, past president and now chairman of the board. He's our Frank Sinatra of the Alliance of Delray, chairman of the board. Please now all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here is our Vice President Arnie Katz to just mention the distinguished guests that we have just attending. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. So happy to see you all. Such a great feeling. Hello? How's that? Is that better? Okay, good. I'm going to announce a lot of people attending today that we're very happy are here, and if you're going to applaud, please hold till I'm done. Thank you. We have Rodney Statham at the Palm Beach County Clerk's Office. Naina Patel from the Palm Beach County Appraiser's Office. Leslie Schreiber from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Major Chris Keene from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Ed Saul from Emily Schlossberg's office. Layla and Kim from the Supervisor of Elections office. They're back there if anybody has any questions. Mark Freeman from the Palm Beach County State Attorney's office. Caitlin Joyce from Commissioner Weinroth's office. Evelyn DePlucy, she's the aide to Senator Berman. And Tisha Buttle, aide to Representative Lois Frankel. Thank you all for being here. We really do appreciate it.
It's great to see so many elected officials sending representatives. It just happens that the elected officials are up in Tallahassee this week because we usually have at least Senator Berman come and a few representatives come. And also the county commissioners usually come, but today is this extremely important, very important, strange meeting on the comprehensive plan of Palm Beach County. It's a follow-up to last week's Agriculture Reserve workshop, and they have to make some serious considerations and direction to staff. So that's why we aren't seeing who we usually see, Commissioner Sachs and Commissioner and Vice Mayor Weinroth. They usually are, at least they come. There's usually other people usually come too as well, like Mac Bernard we see him sometimes, and Dave Kerner, other people from the commission. So that's it, but next month I am sure they'll be back, and next month is going to be another incredible meeting all about planning, zoning, and building. We'll have the head of planning, zoning, and building here, Ramsey Buckley, and we were going to have the new zoning director here, I'm sure Lisa Amara, and a few other high-ranking people in the planning, zoning, and building department, because that's one thing that is very important to us. And right now, here is what I'm telling you about the last few months that we've been busy over the past 20 months. We've been telling everybody by Zoom what's going on. We haven't skipped a beat with the meetings. Every single month we've been having Zoom meetings. Now is our first in-person meeting. But what we've done over the past 20 months is a lot of work. First of all, that 1 million square foot distribution center was defeated. They withdrew the contract back in September. That would have changed the face of the agricultural reserve. And by the way, with the agricultural reserve, which they're discussing today, and I was at that workshop last week, we are working on keeping density low and also maintaining agriculture, and of course expanding Atlantic Avenue. That's a major issue. Just a few things about development. Public storage in front of waterways at the corner of Atlantic and the Turnpike. There's probably going to be a public storage. They're going to be putting an application in. They're speaking with Waterways, and the Alliance has been involved. Over the years, we have discouraged fueling stations several times, and stores that go with the fueling stations, a Burger King, a Wawa, we have discouraged at that corner. So this public storage might be the best thing that's there. Waterways is one of our community members. They're working with the developer to improve the site plan and all, so it's much easier on the eyes. And by the way, speaking of public storage, guess what? There's also plans for public storage, a gas station, and car wash at the old Big Apple Flea Market that's going to be closing down. They might be raising the whole thing and creating that. We're concerned for our communities of High Point because they want to build a higher sort of public storage. But we're going to work on lowering that height because we don't want edifices to overpower our residents. The McDonald's, we worked really, really, really hard on that. And thank you all for your emails. Absolutely incredibly hard. And they snuck in during the pandemic, the height of it. And I was actually the only resident and representative in the room in the zoning commission meeting that everybody else was just there as lawyers and planners because people just couldn't come out. It was so dangerous. So, we were wearing masks and gloves. But that's an old site plan. And they had entitlements and the rights to build there already. So it's being built. But guess what? Dunkin' Donuts next door is going to be refurbished. They are planning to knock it down, but build another Dunkin' Donuts, smaller, but with one lane of drive-through. It seems like drive-through is the thing. We're concerned about the traffic, but we are speaking with our members there, and especially Glen Eagles, and I've been in touch with the president there, and they're going to be working with the developer. And of course, you know about Sims Road. We helped Aspen Ridge with the developer as well. And better traffic flow, signaling. Anytime, when communities have an issue, they do come to the Alliance. We have worked on signaling over the past 20 months. It seems that things have gotten a little messed up. For Lexington Club, off-peak hours, they were waiting too long. We worked on that with the DOT. Waterways, to lengthen their signal. Dakota, at 441 and State Road 7, they were having speeding issues. Captain Sant helped so much with that. We worked on that, and speeding has slowed down on 441. And lengthening their U-turn going south to 25 seconds instead of 5 seconds. These are things we do as well. There's lots of things we do. We welcome our new communities. This past 20 months, we welcomed 2 new communities, so we're up to 102 communities. That is Dakota and Eagle Point. We welcome them both. Now we hear a special report. We're going to have a report from Captain Sant on our District 4. He can come up here. Then we will, great to see you. And we have our school board member, Karen Brill, who I'm sure wants to give us some information. And then we'll get into our program right after the breakfast sponsor.
You could stay and be like Donnie Marie. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. It's so refreshing to see everybody in person. You don't mind if I take this strap off, do you? It's nice to see everybody here, and I too want to extend my appreciation for everybody staying engaged over the last 2 years. We've been through a lot. I don't know, that's probably one of the biggest understatements I'll make today. We've all been through a lot together. We got through it though. We're here, and I pray that your families and everybody that you love and that loves you are doing well. I am happy to report my family as well is hanging in there. I have a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old, and they're thriving in school, and they're healthy. And I got a wife that tells me what to wear in the morning and what time to go to work. I'm okay. So, I was a little reluctant to introduce those gentlemen and those puppies too soon this morning, because my fear was that if I did, you guys wouldn't pay attention to a darn word I said the rest of the morning. So I noticed only the ladies went up here though. Guys, what happened? There was a lot of single, maybe single ladies ready to mingle with those dogs. I got some pictures. So, all right, let me give you a quick update. I know we have a big morning for fire rescue. I did want to steal a little bit of their thunder by bringing the dogs, and they'll see me in the parking lot about that, but I brought friends too. So let's talk about traffic for a second. We're in good shape, we are, but please, I want to keep it that way. You've heard me say this over Zoom. We were 20% down going the first 2 quarters of the year, and we're up over 5% increase. So if you do the math, which I'm not good at, that doesn't bode too well. So please, give yourself plenty of time in the morning, get to going where you going. The holidays are coming up. So again, enough time. We have a lot of growth, like Dr. Bennett mentioned. We're staying on top of it tomorrow. Who's going to be in town tomorrow? All right, you might want to stay home. We're having a big traffic initiative tomorrow. And don't speed. Don't tell anybody I told you that. Through the whole South region, we are going to launch a traffic initiative, and we're targeting aggressive drivers, speeders, commercial vehicles, and we're going to stay on top of that. You guys know that. I told you we were, and it's a sheriff's mission, it's a sheriff's vision. It gives us the tools, the equipment, and support to do it, so we're going to get it done. One last thing I'll talk to you about is crime. We are looking pretty good, folks. We really are. Let's keep it that way. Moving into the holiday season, please lock your cars, put away those valuables. Lock your cars, put away the valuables. Don't rush out of the car and leave everything you just purchased on your front seat, including your purse and your valuables, okay? That's one of the biggest thefts that are occurring in the burglaries that are occurring is when criminals are opportunists by nature. They're walking through the parking lot, peering into windows, and they're going for your purse or packages, okay? But overall, we're doing good. We really are down across the board, and we're down across the region, the South region. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to somebody very important to us. Courtesy of Rick Bradshaw, started the Canine Therapy Unit. And I'm looking over all your right shoulders. You're going to see the 4 first gentlemen. And we have one coming out of the chute, okay? Deputy Grimaldi, that's up in support services around a special victims unit, should be with us as well. But I'm going to introduce you to the lead instructor or trainer, Deputy Bill Feeman. Please come up. All right, I'm going to turn it over to him. Like always, if you guys need anything, please, I'm just a phone call away. So you're not even paying attention to me already. I'll see you guys next month.
Good morning again. Thank you, Captain. I just want to take a quick moment to thank our Major, Major Keene. My lieutenant is back there, Lieutenant Morales. And we have another special gentleman with us, is Deputy Torrance with Media Relations. The handlers that you see on the side over here, this is our first academy, so we're actually training these dogs right now. These are all rescues from Big Dog Ranch Rescue. We have Deputy Charles Baruth, Deputy Brian Cassie, and Deputy James Mackey. Deputy Baruch, who has the golden retriever right there, is a very special story with him. Tony Robbins donates a significant amount of money to Big Dog Ranch Rescue every year to save these dogs from China. So Lars was actually on his way to a meat market over in China, and he was rescued and brought here. So he's got a very special story. Going back to what the captain said, when we initially wrote the proposal for this, we were very small-minded in what we thought we were going to do with this program. Our initial goal was to deal with victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. I graduated from the school and certified with Data, who's the Catahoula leopard right here. About a week being back in town, a car in front of me on Military Trail, one of our busiest intersections, hopped the median and crashed into her grandmother head on. The grandmother was transporting her 3 grandchildren to school. Now ultimately she was okay, but while she was being extricated from the vehicle by fire rescue, we took the dog out and we created necessary distraction for the grandkids so they don't have to witness that trauma. So there was another box for us to check because initially that was not our plan. Shortly after that, we had a 16-year-old young lady who was sexually assaulted over a 6-year period by her father. Again, this is a necessary distraction when we go in and we deal with these circumstances that these dogs are involved in. So earlier, someone else asked a question for us, and it's not all gloom and doom for us. What we found also is there's a study by UCLA that showed we created a program called the Read Along Program down at the Mandel Public Library in West Palm Beach. We go there every Tuesday from 4 to 6, and we set up on a side room in a special place, and the kids sign in and they come and read to the dogs. What they found is by reading to the dogs, there's no judgment. The dog doesn't make fun of you if you can't pronounce a sentence or you mispronounce a word. So over the course of time, these children's grade level increased twofold because they want to read to the dogs. So it was a very special thing for us to do that, and consistently, we're doing it, and we're going to expand that particular program. We get an opportunity to come to events like this where, this is nice and refreshing for us. But we leave here, we don't know what our next call may be. On last Monday, we had an 8-year-old girl who lived alone with her mother. She woke up and found her mother deceased. The young lady tried to perform CPR based on the information that was given to her over the phone by fire rescue. Mom didn't make it. So we took the dogs up. And again, these create necessary distractions, so while they're talking to her, and we're having to deal with her mother, who's now deceased, who she lived alone with, we've got to deal with that. But just for a moment, it takes their mind off of these problems and issues that they have. We are the only certified team now that works with the child protection team, where they come in and do the forensics interviews for sexual assault victims. The Department of Justice found an 88% increase in the conviction rate of these cases when they introduce the dog on the inception. So if we bring them in early enough and they get with the victim, we do that. These dogs go through a very extensive training. We actually follow the case from the beginning to the end. The dogs are trained to go into the box that the judge will allow them, and they sit with the victim while they have an opportunity to testify. And it just gives them a little bit more courage to be able to deal with them. They do go home with us, they live with us, so after 5 o'clock they become family, and they get to be dogs, and they get to do what they do. But during the course of the day, what we like to say is that they make people, good people that have been caught in a bad situation feel better about themselves. We will stick around. We're going to be here. I know Fire Rescue's got a huge presentation, but we'll be around afterwards. So if you guys want to spend some time with the dogs, we'll definitely stick around and we'll be here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Wow, that's just a wonderful program. Sheriff Rick Bradshaw always amazes us. Remember, he got us those drones, and that helped immensely during hurricanes. After hurricanes, he does so much. We have our one elected official here today, Karen Brill. Please come up for.
Good morning, Alliance.
Good morning.
Come on, you can do better. I'm taking Mary Lou's spot. Good morning, Alliance of Delray. What a crazy time it is to be on the school board. If you've been watching the parodies on television, Saturday Night Live, it's as crazy as they portray it. So first of all, I'm Karen Brill. I am your school board member and also the vice chair with the Palm Beach County School Board. On my way here today, the superintendent called me. First of all, you met Mike Burke a couple meetings ago. We made him our permanent superintendent. And right after I leave here, which is going to be shortly, we're having a welcome reception for him with the Education Foundation. But most important, Mike called me to tell me that the doctors that have been advising us have agreed that sometime between Monday and next Monday and the Monday after, we are going to go to masks optional for our students. We've met the metrics on positivity. The county has been at 4% the last 2 weeks. We're at 3% now. We said 8%. And as of tomorrow, the healthcare district is going to be administering vaccines to children ages 5 to 12. So we've reached that point. We've got to get back to learning in the classrooms. But we get screamed at our meetings. They scream at us, whether it's masks, critical race theory, LGBTQ+, even our mental health programs. So unfortunately, our lives have also been threatened in many instances. I have not had that many threats. I've only been almost accosted once, but it is as crazy as you can imagine. So, but right now, we're staying focused on education. You'll hear more about what we're doing, but I think it's very important that the students be able to get back to a more normal life. Fortunately, their parents and their siblings, many of them have been at least double vaccinated. Now everybody's going for their booster. I have my booster tomorrow, and so I know that we are finally on the path to things improving. So I look forward to joining you again next month. I have to get up to our board meeting. We start in another hour or so for the party, for the superintendent, and then we have one of our fun meetings where we'll be screamed at, and I'm sure we'll make the news tonight. Watch CNN, watch Fox, we're all over the place. But I look forward to seeing you again next month. And before I leave, can you believe it's November? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. A happy and a healthy.
Thank you for always coming, giving us everything that's up to date with the school system. Thank you. But as you know, right before we go into our presentation, we have a little commercial because our breakfast sponsor, who can come up here, Terry Russo, is Senior Vice President of South State Bank, and that is the sponsor of our breakfast this morning, and she'll give you a little brief statement about South State Bank. Terry Russo, Senior Vice President.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's nice to see faces this morning. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Terry Russo with South State Bank. I am the association lender for the bank in Broward and Palm Beach County. I'm going to just leave you with two thoughts. One is it's budget season, and it's my understanding insurance premiums are headed out of control, so take that into consideration. And also your roofs. They're also increasing your insurance premiums because of roofs and their ages. So keep that in mind. If you run into a problem where you don't have reserves, please reach out to either myself or your local bank, because they all have association lenders. And I look forward to talking to you after the program. I followed beautiful dogs, and now they're going to follow me. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your sponsorship. Now for the program that we've been waiting for, the fire rescue. What they do for us is beyond belief. They need to be recognized, and this is a great way of recognizing them with our first meeting here. We have our chief, Pete Hund, and he is the chief of our closest, actually, fire station right there in the center of West Delray, and he's got quite a few people to introduce, and we got another most important person here, too, that he's going to introduce, but I'm going to let him do everything. Go ahead. Chief Pete Hund, great to see you. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. Good to see everyone in person. I was assigned to this position back in May, so this is my first in-person meeting. I've only seen you on Zoom so far, so nice to see everyone. Thank you to President Vinicor for inviting Fire Rescue to be the first presentation in the in-person meeting. It's quite an honor for us. As she mentioned, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Pete Hund. I'm the new district chief in Battalion 4, which encompasses the 8 stations in the West Boynton, West Delray area. I took the spot of Chief Tazi. You may remember him. He took a promotion. He is now division chief of our EOC up at headquarters, and I was his replacement. So anything in the area, any issues you have, I would be your point of contact, so please feel free to contact me. For our presentation today, I racked my brain to think of something we could provide you, ideas, and I decided, I called in the backups, some elite speakers to discuss what's going on in fire rescue, kind of a state of the union, if so to speak, for fire rescue. What we're working on, what we're doing, and what we're looking towards in the future. So I want to introduce some of the representation here, starting at the top. Fire Chief of Palm Beach County, Chief Duran, here. Deputy Chief, Chief McGlynn, he's going to be speaking later. You may remember him. He was a district chief down in Bat 4 a number of years ago, and he's promoted up the ranks now and is very high at headquarters now. Division Chief Gonzalez, Division Chief of Operations. Division Chief Hurd in the back. Division Chief Charlie Coyle. We have Captain Elise Brown from our Community Risk Reduction Division. Battalion Chief Bill Stansberry. Captain Mike Garcia. And Lieutenant Jose Santos, who is going to provide us with a great talk later. So without any further ado, I'm going to start our presentation. I'm going to ask Captain Elise Brown to come up, and she's going to talk to you a bit about some of the benefits and things we can provide you in the community from fire rescue.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to stand over here so you can see me. I only see the top of my head here. Good morning, Alliance of Delray members. Good morning. We got through that already, didn't we? Thank you for having us here to come speak. Pretty confident. I have gone to several of your communities and done some presentations in the past. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Okay. Okay. So I'm here to represent the community education section for our Community Risk Reduction Division. A lot of words, right? Essentially, what we do is we do outreach presentations that are relative to any fire safety or life safety topic, and mostly what we would respond to in regards to a 911 call. So why is this important? First, let me ask you, how many of you are Florida natives? Born, stayed, raised? Not so. Okay, and me. So less than 5. Less than 5. So why is what we do important? Because all of you, except for the 5 of us, are not local. You're not local to natives. You're not local to Florida. There's a number of different, let's talk about the hazards that are here in Florida. The weather. The weather is different, correct? Our terrain is different. All of this is different. So when you move here, it's our job to make you aware of the different dangers that you can encounter. And then how do you prevent an injury from occurring, right? Yeah. Now, what's happening this weekend? Does anyone know? On Sunday, 2 a.m., happens twice a year? Yes. Right, correct. Change your clock. Not every state participates. Daylight savings time ends. And what is the slogan in the campaign that you've heard before? Change your clocks, change your batteries, right? So now as time has passed, technology has changed, it's evolved, right? Batteries, LED lights, electric, we've got low voltage generators. As our technology changes, our safety messaging must evolve as well. Where we used to say change your clock, change your batteries, that campaign initiated from the International Association of Fire Chiefs and Energizer Battery Company in the late 80s, 1987, when there were no smoke alarms that functioned on electricity. How many of you have working smoke alarms? Right? And they don't just operate on batteries, so no longer should we be saying just change your battery. What we should be saying is change replaceable batteries, but check your alarms. Not only the smoke alarms, but the carbon monoxide alarms, because we have different dangers here locally as well, right? With the weather come generators. We've got the risk of carbon monoxide exposure. We've got the push button auto start ignitions with the vehicles, people park in garages. We've got the technology that distracts us now. Our muscle memory is different. Remember when we learned how to drive, you put the key in, you turned it. It was a whole key situation with that muscle memory. Now it's a button. So our muscle memory changes. We have to retrain ourselves. So learning all these new tips are really super important for your safety and your welfare, and hopefully you can pass the word on. Because as everything changes, our messaging does, our operational protocols do, our codes for building construction and fire safety enforcement, all of this changes and evolves with us. So our messaging has to stay up to date as well. And what we can offer to you is we can come out and speak to your community. As science and research has also evolved and changed, so has our teaching when it comes to CPR. How many of you learned years ago conventional CPR, right? With breaths, compressions. How many of you now are familiar with hands-only CPR, high-performance CPR? Hands-only, along with the AEDs. Technology, they work together. How many of you know you have communities with AEDs, automated or automatic external defibrillators? How many of you had a presentation where fire rescue has come out? Wonderful. I'd like to see everyone's hand raised because we can do that for you. Bystander CPR is essential. If any of you are on social media, let me just ask how many of you are actually on social media? Okay. Facebook, primarily? Twitter? Okay. Instagram? Oh, wonderful. Okay. How many of you get your information from newsletters? You rely on newsletters for safety information. How about television and the news? Websites and online. You have to be prompted. One of the challenges we have is getting the information to you. In person is wonderful. We are back now in person, of course, with COVID precautions, right? But we also need other means of communication because we can't come out to every community. We would love to. We would love for you to have us. But we've got to use all of these different routes and avenues to communicate with you. What we can offer for you is we can come out and teach you hands-only CPR, how to use the defibrillators that are in your community clubhouses, and just about every public building that you go to, along with the one that you're in right now, in your travels, okay? Fire safety, carbon monoxide, poisoning awareness, whether it's parking in the garage, generators, or charging your golf cart. We can help teach you how to install car seats. How many of you have grandchildren coming for the holidays? Children coming, how many, local? Okay, car seats are out, but we do that. We can help install car seats, so if you have family members who need help with that, that's not a problem at all. We can also bring a lot of materials that we have with us and that we print here and make in-house. How many of you are familiar with the Yellow Dot program? Okay, this isn't just here locally in Florida, but other states as well. The jurisdiction must, participate and recognize it as well, but essentially what this is for you is your voice. Put your medical information on the pamphlet. It goes in the glove compartment. Each person should have their own. The sticker goes on the rear driver's side rear windshield. If you get into a crash and fire rescue or the sheriff's office here see the yellow dot, they're going to know that they can get your medical information, anything else that's pertinent for us to know to help take care of you better. Doesn't have any private information on there, so you do not have to worry about that. But this is just one of the tools that can help make you safer and help us take care of you better. We can teach also about hurricane safety. We have a slew of topics. I brought cards with me today with our phone number if you'd like to reach out and schedule a presentation. We're still doing virtual. We can do in person as well with COVID precautions, wearing masks, but we would love for you to have us. We love to come and speak and communicate with the community directly. And I think I'm out of time because everybody is staring at me. Two quick tips. Let me just ask you first, what do you think the most common cause of home fires is, if you had to guess?